My original idea was to go as Jim Ross doing an impression of himself, like him going as himself for Halloween. But this one's better.
Sure.
All right. We are live. I can't say it again. I get embarrassed.
Say it. Say it.
I am a wrestling god.
Why'd you roll your eyes?
Isn't that what he used to do? I don't know.
Oh God. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. We're just getting started. We're doing some prep work.
Press record on old.
Old Audacity.
Old
Audacity.
That's really
good call.
Update.
Wait, did we press it? Did you press it yet?
You tell me when.
3, 2, 1, record.
All right.
Okay. So I could either wear Davy Crockett hat.
Okay.
Or I could have robot head.
What's more wrestling related to you?
I'm Wario with a cow, like Davy Crockett, or there's not much.
I say go Davy Crockett hat.
Okay.
There was definitely a wrestler at some point who wore the Davy Crockett hat.
That's true, and the robot head it doesn't pee a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There we go.
I realize.
Welcome, everyone, get in here. Chica Marks is here.
Chica Marks.
It was great.
That all of my favorite internet wrestling shows, the hosts dress up for Halloween week, so I thought we'd do the same.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a great idea. You're thinking with your head there, Royster, and I like it. I'm trying to get that there. Excellent. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the woos and whats of a very spooky edition of AEW Dynamite. We're here for you. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Red Jefferson, and I'm here with Roy Toy Boy Lazowitz. How are we doing, Roy?
I'm good. For anyone wondering, I thought of this right before we came on the air, so I'm pretty proud of it. I want everyone to know that I'm babyface JBL. Babyface JBL. Good old JBL. If he was a wrestling, not God, because God's a heel thing. A wrestling good mayor. If instead of JBL constantly hazing and harassing people, I instead encouraged them and uplifted them and told them to, instead of him being mean to Mauro Ranallo, instead I was like, hey, Mauro, I understand that a lot of people deal with mental health issues. I support you, and I'm here for you. That's what my version of JBL would be.
You'd be such a better JBL. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Let's get a better JBL. I am Wario Davy Crockett composite.
I hear that guy was a huge heel in the Memphis territory in the 70s.
Memphis area. Tony says, no such thing as a face JBL, only on Halloween.
That's it. Only on Halloween.
All the rules come out.
Hey, do you want to take a second real quick? And before we dive into the show, you want to talk about the big news? We save the news for Saturday.
Yeah. News, this you can't lose Saturday.
Special news.
Saturdays.
We'll probably discuss this more in detail on Saturday, but I figure, some fast time reactions. Tony, Chica Marks, people, feel free to chime in on this Ring of Honor news.
Ring of Honor news. Let's talk about it. Ring of Honor has closed their doors for a little bit, for indefinitely. What are your thoughts on? A bunch of wrestlers got let go. How many did you say?
Everybody, the entire roster is released.
On the roster?
Enough. I don't know actually. So I would say somewhere in the 50s between men and women, close to 40 or 50. It's weird. It's one of those things where obviously, as a human being in any situation like this, you get sad for these wrestlers because, that eliminates income for them. But there's always a tinge of excitement because you're like, oh, where could they go next? Everyone's so talented. They'll find jobs elsewhere. But when an entire roster gets released, it's a little sadder because some people get lost a little bit.
100% get lost. Think about WCW. There was 100 people on that roster. Maybe 20 of them went to WWE afterward. Right?
Yeah. Right.
And even fewer stayed. So the Chica Marks writes, I'm nervous for my faves. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll all bounce somewhere. They're all fairly young. Well, at least some of them. Poor PCO. I don't know what's going to happen.
PCO, interesting side note about PCO. PCO though, he was already gone.
Yeah, he
was
already
leaving.
left earlier this year.
He caught wind that it was a sinking ship, and he was like, "I have to go to GCW."
Is he in GCW now?
He said in an interview that he's gonna do like 50 GCW shows next year. So he's going to be all over GCW. And so are the Briscoes. Briscoes won the GCW tag titles.
I haven't watched it yet. Thanks for the spoiler.
Sorry, bud.
No, it's okay. I should know by now. But yeah, so the Briscoes are already in GCW, Tony writes. And basically they are. Yeah. They found a place quick. And honestly,
and Bandito
they fit there.
too.
They fit.
And Red, it's funny that you bring that up, this WWE when WCW went out of business thing. Because here on Loser Leaves Wrestling, both on this show and the News You Can Lose, Red and I have been predicting the future for the last couple of months. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because the last time a company had mass releases and kind of went under, WCW, a friend of the show created his own promotion and employed a lot of the old WCW wrestlers by the name of Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Word. So I wonder if at this point in time he may take over the NWA and bring in a lot of those former Ring of Honor wrestlers.
We have been wish casting this for many a week. And maybe you have. Maybe Conrad and Jeff Jarrett will finally get their shit together and pull the plug. Not pull the plug, put pen to paper. And Tony says GCW is on a roll. A Kaiser roll, because that's how I like my sandwiches.
Can't get a good Kaiser roll in Austin, Texas.
Oh, you can't get a good you can't get a good Italian anywhere in Los Angeles. Can't get a good Italian sandwich anywhere. Because they're in every single place they put such little meat on there. There's such little meat. There's such a little cheese. I want them to stack it up high. You know how I like it.
I know how you like it. Yeah, I stack them high. I tell everybody I know. He stacks it high. This guy stacks it high.
Stacks it high. That's a little New Jersey humor for you. That's some classic New Jersey humor. We have to start talking about this goddamn show.
Right. Let's get into it. We'll get more into Ring of Honor on Saturday, but I didn't want to ignore it. We'll talk more about it.
It's a nice teaser for Saturday. We're gonna start. Right. We're gonna talk about where they're all gonna go and where they're not gonna go. We'll get into it. We'll get into the dirty. Maybe we'll even pull up the roster. But let's really dive into today. This is the woos, the woo-woo-woos, and the whats of AEW Dynamite. And this was a spooky Halloween edition. And I will say, besides the main event, not as much spooky Halloween stuff as I'd like.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I will say they were able to fit in the annual wrestling tradition of a spooky no disqualification match, which will be on Rampage with a spooky wrestler.
Okay. Well, we'll get into it. We'll see how Rampage is, because I was actually a little disappointed. I want everyone in costumes. I want every single person in costume. WWE never really did it like that, but I think that was a missed opportunity. And I want the graphics to have little skulls and bats flying everywhere. I want it all. Let's just go in chronological order. We started this night off hot with a CM Punk versus Bobby Fish match. And I think, again, I think CM Punk's looking better and better. CM Punk comes with the win here. What are your thoughts on Bobby Fish being an opponent here? Do you think that was a little weird?
Do I think it was a little weird? I was distracted by Tony's comment. No, I don't actually think it's weird. I think there's a lot of under the surface things that were happening on this show tonight, and we'll get into some deeper ones later on that I have crackpot theories about. But no, I think Bobby Fish is a good opponent for him. I thought of you while watching this match, because we had discussed in prior weeks that you were thinking that Punk could kind of incorporate more of an MMA style, moving forward, kind of more grappling. I thought this was his chance to do that, and he didn't really do that. He hit harder. Yeah. He didn't do it, though.
He looked like, honestly, I've noticed something about these Punk fights. It feels like every single time I'm watching throughout, and like first half, I'm always a little bit like, oh, he seems a little tired. It looks like he's not able to do much. And he picks it up in the second half. And I'm sure there's something of a method to it. He is looking pretty tired. He looks pretty gassed out there. But one thing I noticed, but just Bobby Fish, you mentioned this actually a couple weeks ago, how you were worried that Bobby Fish keeps losing. And I was just like, oh, he's like Cesaro. He has these blockbuster matches with people and then just kind of keeps losing. But I kind of think he does need a few underdog wins here and there. I felt like this may have not been the best spot for Bobby, but do you think it was supposed to end this way? So at the end of the match, CM Punk goes for the GTS and he does it with the bad knee. He falls down and he's away from, so he has to crawl back over with this bum knee. He goes for the pin and Bobby Fish kicks out at 3. And if that's on purpose, I love it. I love that because not everyone is dead unconscious at 3. I like the idea that you just squeak out every now and then. But that's happened so rarely that I almost feel like this was an accident. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, and I think I thought about this a lot. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm fully there with a conclusion, but I think it was intentional. I do think it was intentional.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, I think it was intentional. I think it was done really, really well. But I think it was intentional as a way. So the thing that I liked about it, too, is that Punk sold the knee afterwards, so it took a little more time than normal.
Smart.
So he should kind of kick out quick. I think this is a really good match because ultimately, if you think about it, Bobby Fish has been brought in to really be this guy that he's being right now. He's not really brought in to win matches. Yeah. He's brought in to showcase other wrestlers. And Punk fought Will Hobbs, and he took a beating in the Will Hobbs match, but one of the reasons that he did was because Will Hobbs is just really big. This is the first match where he legit got his ass kicked. Like, sure. Fish at one point just kicked him in the back of the head. Like, really just kind of was really tough on him. And Punk was also tough back. So it's kind of adding to that, like, okay, Punk's getting his win back. Punk's getting the kicks in. I think this served its purpose, but I understand what you're saying. I just think there's just so many guys out there that some guys are just going to have to be put in this position, and Bobby Fish is one of those guys.
Okay, then that's fair. And maybe he didn't kick out, but I like the match, though. We feel good about the match? Picked up.
I feel good about the match.
Real good ending. Yeah, good ending. Let's get some comments in here. It's not a circus, Red. It's wrestling. Probably to my Halloweeny, getting everything Halloweeny comment. Yeah. Tony, we're allowed to have fun with wrestling because wrestling's wrestling. Wrestling is a circus. Actually, you saying it's not a circus is not true. That's actually not true. S right, Stay puffed. S, welcome to the fray. Good to see you, friend. Yes, Stay puffed. We're gonna get to Stay puffed because that was amazing. Tony, I want to see Christian versus CM Punk to see who sweats more after 5 minutes. That'd be a barn burner. Who else should be in there? Brodus Clay. Think of other.
Keep Brodus Clay as Otis far away from this as possible.
Get Otis in there. Excellent. Let's move on. Then we get a quick thing. Malachi Black saying he doesn't care about wins and losses. That was very brief. Any thoughts on that?
No. All my thoughts tie into what happens later with Cody, so we'll just get into that later.
We'll get into that. MJF.
We're gonna need some time on that one.
MJF versus Bryce Donovan. Donovan here wearing his best Young Bucks cosplay. Hold on a second. I got a fucking. You hear that fire? The fire truck.
Hey, they got to get to where they're going.
This is Los Angeles, baby. And MJF gets a quick win with the Salt of the Earth. Is that what it's called? That pile driver through the second rope?
It's called the Heat Seeker. The Salt of the Earth is the arm bar.
That's right. How did you feel about this before we get into the aftermath?
Whatever. He did what he had to do. His reactions are legitimately getting louder and louder. And something that I do want to mention real quick, if I can get personal for a second, if I can be serious for a moment, classic Lance Storm right there.
Sure.
I was at this very venue the first time they came through. It was the second ever Dynamite show, and I was there. And I took a second during the first match to reflect on this. And it's really something else how quickly AEW has arisen and come up.
Sure.
The opening match the first time I was there was Private Party versus the Young Bucks, and now it's CM Punk versus Bobby Fish inside of 2 years. So it's pretty nice. And the last time I was there, Darby Allin fought Jimmy Havoc in a 5-minute match.
Ooh.
So
yeah, I remember that match. I actually remember that match.
They've come a long way.
They have. They come a long way. Afterwards, MJF hates on the women of Boston. Makes a comment about sleeping with rats. Says mimics everyone's moms. Hotta. That was.
I didn't get that. Is that what he was saying? I missed that.
Yeah.
I heard it, but I didn't process. Okay. Harder.
Yeah, he was saying hotta. And then Darby comes out. Well, a Sting comes out with a fake out. Starts hitting with a baseball bat. Great blackout moment. A lot of fun. Yeah. But then Darby in his best Ninja Turtles Raphael costume. You know what Raphael wears when he goes to the surface? The trench coat.
I thought he was the Invisible Man.
Is that what he's going for?
Because he had the tape over his face.
Did he?
The sunglasses.
No.
Yeah, you didn't see the whole gimmick that he had?
Oh,
yeah.
Man, that's so much
His face
cooler.
was covered up. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's pretty freaking awesome.
He just ripped that off before MJF turned around.
That.
I thought that was great. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Okay. And then he kind of kicks his butt a little bit. A lot of fun. Yeah, overall segment, yay or nay?
Yay. I think yay.
What?
Woo woo woo. Go with for sure. I think they're planting the Wardlow defection seeds now. I think they're really starting to kind of plant those seeds. They brought in Sean Spears.
Those seeds have been planted.
Yeah, but now they're pushing. It's starting to blossom a little bit. Sean Spears, and then Sean Spears did the music thing, and they hugged, and I think it's starting, which is good. I think. I don't know if it's because you posted that clip of Sting and Orange Cassidy earlier today on the Loser Leaves Wrestling Instagram, but I really
no, someone from LLWHQ posted that. I have no idea.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The big office.
I don't know who that was either. Yeah. I just am starting to just fall in love deeper and deeper with Sting and Darby Allin as a pair. I just really like them as a pair. This sweet father-son. How did you feel about his video? Where
hated it. What is
why.
that? What is that? Okay, so let's just recap. So the lights go out, and all of a sudden it's this video of some sort of music concert, and out comes someone dressed as, not even dressed as MJF, has a paper mask on with one eye.
Oh, I love that.
And then they was like, oh, it's MJF, and Darby and him come, and they throw him through a table. It was so dumb. That is fine for social media content, but it belongs nowhere on a televised show. Very bad. Tony writes, worthless match. He should have just had a promo in the back to save time. I agree. I agree entirely, Tony. This is one of those rare instances where Tony and I are on the same page, because historically we are opposite ends of the wrestling spectrum.
I will say, though, in defense of that, it was worth it to me for Excalibur's comment where he says MJF is fulfilling his quarterly wrestling obligation. Very funny.
That's pretty good.
Very funny. I enjoyed that.
I
also enjoyed. Yeah, he's still undefeated.
Isn't that crazy?
JR. Well, he technically whatever. JR called the GTS the GPS. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's cute. But he immediately corrected it.
He immediately corrected himself. Yeah.
Now moving on, we got Tony and Britt in the back. Tony and Britt Baker, and this is where they announced the Abaddon match. Okay, I guess we're gonna have an Abaddon match again. It's gonna be spooky.
What do you mean again?
In all honesty, I think Abaddon. There's something that needs to be done with that character. That character is not good yet. I think there's makings of it. There's there's something in there, but she's kind of a sloppy worker, and
she's green.
Yeah. Sloppy. And also that character is so all characters need to have strengths and weaknesses. Hers are not defined. Abaddon sometimes sells, sometimes doesn't sell. Sometimes is powerful, sometimes isn't. There's no defining characteristics of Abaddon's character which make it bad. It's kind of like the Addams Family, where the Addams Family, they hate good things, but they love bad things. But then they sometimes do love good things, and they sometimes do love bad. They really they're like, do you like if you're eating a bad cereal? Do they eat disgusting cereal for breakfast or nails? Right? What are they doing? It's never defined. They can eat both, and they like both. What? You could digest the bad cereal. I just want to know.
Do you hate the Addams Family too?
I like the Addams Family in concept. Yeah. I like the movies, but man, is their psychology all out of whack? Pick a lane.
Yeah.
Pick a lane. S writes, a video of some sort of music concert. Never change, Grandpa Red. Never change. You're the world's youngest boomer, and I love you for it. Screw you! Chica Marks writes, I could feel Red's eyes roll when they announced the match. Thank you so much, Chica Marks. You know me so well. Bless you. I hope you had a good trip to Texas. Good trip to Texas. Tony says it's for that fun thing you talked about. Oh yes, so the fun thing I talked about, the Halloween stuff, and
Oh,
yes,
right.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with, because like obviously Abaddon's gonna lose, but I
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't even give me that.
I'm just saying it's for a shot at the title. It's not for the title.
I honestly would be insulted if she got a title.
So would I.
Match.
She should absolutely not win at all. But I'm just saying, she had a great debut. I loved her debut. Haven't liked anything she's done since, but I loved her debut.
They should move her with Chaos Theory. Get rid of Serpentico, have it be Luther and Abaddon as a package. Then I could get behind it.
Okay.
We got to get out of here because we're not going to get behind this. Ethan match.
He's good in this match.
I just hate his personality. I find his personality to be so blah. Like blah. He's the screaming wrestler that we've all seen a million times before, and he's all ego, and I'm angry, and we've seen it a million times, and we don't care for it here. But this was a good match. What are your thoughts, Sammy getting the win here?
I like it. I like that it was with a roll up. I like that it wasn't as definitive. I like that a lot. I liked what else did I like?
Did you like Tony Nese in the crowd?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. I think I wrote that down. Hold on a second. Yes, I wrote don't like Tony Nese.
Tony Nese is the most boring wrestler on the face of the earth. Literally took Damian Sandow's face, put it on Pac's body, and no one cares.
I think he's a tremendous wrestler, but he's not a good entertainer. And you know what? It's one of those things that's tough. No one saw this Ring of Honor thing coming, but there's about 7 or 8 guys for Ring of Honor who would be better served in this role than Tony Nese is now. How about Jay Lethal?
100%. Very insulted that he's taking up that much time. But Ethan did a good job. I like him better as a wrestler than a persona.
He played the big guy. He slowed Sammy down. He was strong. He was beefy. And I like when that happens. It sets this apart from what people see it as who don't watch the actual show. People who hate AEW and watch it, they're like, oh, it's just big spots and it's just this, it's just that. Yes, there are big spots, but it's not like 2 guys just do this shit constantly all the time. It's matchups like this. Ethan comes in, slows Sammy down.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Gets the heat. They're selling.
But he did give us, as Tony writes, Sammy's shooting star was crazy. That was a pretty cool move. But I will say this because I wrote it in my notes. Sammy, I hate him because I do. I
hate the crazy sign.
He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He wrestles like a bad guy. He acts like a bad guy. I want to hate him. Please let me hate him. Chica Marks writes, I thought Sammy landed hard on his arm at one point, but somehow didn't get hurt. Yeah, there was a lot of little moments like that throughout the night. But yeah, he looked to be okay. But there was this moment when I thought he really got hurt from his arm. Same thing. But after the match, Sammy gets the win here. We did get the Inner Circle running out, doing a run out, and Pyro goes off.
Dude, I hate that so much.
Who was at the wheel?
No, that's what they do. For Jericho, they will always do the pyro, even if it's a run out like that. I hate it. It's just not necessary. And speaking of seeing that Boston show the first time they were there and seeing how far AEW has come, you know who's regressed in those 2 years? Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah, well because he was 48 then, he's 51 now.
Well, he cut the most important promo in the history of AEW that night, the first time I saw them, because it's just him. He sets the tone for the future of AEW, for the future of Dynamite. He's a heel. He's focused. It's funny. It's assertive. Tonight, I hate babyface Chris Jericho. All the beating the meat things and all the pandering to the crowd, it just doesn't work for me.
Dipshit.
I'm over it.
And honestly, if everyone's saying shit all the time, it's no longer as fun.
Yeah,
it's no longer as fun. I was really into it at one point. Moving on, we got Tony Schiavone, Eddie Kingston, and Bryan Danielson, B. Danielson. They're talking, and Eddie wants everyone to know he takes Zoloft, and that's what's keeping him caged in. He's about to burst at any second. He storms off, and then Bryan Danielson starts yelling at the camera about Eddie when Eddie's literally just right there. He's just down the hall. You could have at least directed at him like you scream. I would have loved to start screaming at him like you could still hear him, rather than immediately face the camera. But either way,
I was thinking about this. Yeah, I thought it was good. I think Eddie did a great job. I think Eddie outdid Bryan here. Controversial opinion,
100%.
but I think Eddie did a better job. I think it would have better served because if you saw the first promo that they had with one another, Bryan does this whole thing about how you don't work hard and all of this, which is insane because his whole gimmick is that he works hard. So Eddie cuts this promo, he walks away, and then Bryan said, that's the Eddie that I want. Should have just stopped there. That's all you needed. But instead he did this whole thing and yelled and screamed and whatever. I thought it was good. It was a lot. I'm excited for that match. I think it's going to be great.
Very, very excited for the match. And Chica Marks wants to Eddie's great. Eddie is great at times. Eddie is great at times, and this was a good example of what makes him great. And I'm excited for this match because it's going to be a cool matchup. Then we have the Lucha Bros backstage. They're speaking in English, but Alex still thinks he needs to translate.
Yeah.
He's just like, the Lucha Bros say, we just heard them. We just heard them.
Yeah.
We don't need you every single time. But we get to the best match of the night right now.
Woo,
the highlight
did we, baby?
Of the night. Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida. And one hell of a barn burner. We do have a comment here. Oh, you want to talk? Let's quickly answer this before we get to Hikaru Shida. The thing that sucks about Babyface Jericho is that he's super over. The AEW crowd is generally pretty on point, so it's disappointing to see them still enjoying Jericho's tired shtick. You're damn right, S. Get into it. Get into the mic, Roy.
Hey.
Let us know.
Hey, S. Hey, Chica Marks. Hey, Tony. Hey, Red. And everybody else who's watching this. You know why they're super into it? Because most of the time, wrestling fans, they're dumb. They're silly. They just love to chant. And they're just so easy to just convince.
Our numbers just start rolling down the ticker.
Hey, all of us on this, real smart. Real smart.
Yeah.
We're all real smart.
We're all
here.
real smart.
But most wrestling fans are like, he said shit, so I'm going to chant that because it's fun. During the Cody Rhodes promo, as he's being booed to the ring, he says in the promo, you can cheer. And then he pauses, and then the crowd cheers. And then he says, or you can boo. There's an awkward pause. Oh, and the crowd's like, oh, yeah, we should boo. And then they boo. That's what's going to happen. But it's smart fans like us that are going to keep the business alive.
I really love this. I really love this heel turn you're taking right now. Turning against wrestling fans.
Tweener JBL. That's who I am. I'm Tweener JBL.
Chica Marks writes, so good. And man, the ending was so evil great.
Yes. We're going to get into the match now. Shida.
Let's get into the match.
Deeb.
Serena Deeb, Hikaru Shida, best match of the night. Starts off hot. They go in. Hikaru Shida is at her best when she's angry. When she is angry. And she was furious coming into this. And I was bummed that Serena Deeb didn't win. But then I was just like, bring Hikaru Shida to the top. If she's going to act like this, because last year she was being like sweet and nice and it wasn't this. The fire.
Turn it up. Yes.
And and Hikaru Shida after the match, after she got the win, with a great sequence of pin combinations. Loved it. That Serena Deeb loses it and assaults the shit out of Hikaru Shida.
She was Bret Hart tonight, both in color of gear and in how, if you go back and you watch Bret Hart swing a steel chair, he swings it like Deeb did tonight.
Full extension.
The shots with the edge of the chair on the knee, the work. It was excellent on both parts. You're exactly right. Shida, when she's fired up and angry, I love watching her work. And this just leads to Rose. So, Tony just
Tony already said the only thing I don't like is that we get Shida versus Nyla Rose. Agreed.
It's going to be a squash.
We're getting this Shida.
It's going to be a squash. I'm telling you. She crushed her knee. She crushed her knee, so she's either not going to be able to compete or she's going to go in injured and Rose is going to crush her because the story of the tournament is Ruby Soho. Because now Ruby Soho's got to beat Statlander in a babyface match. Then in the semifinals, she's got to go against the monster Nyla Rose. We talked about this before. That's Nyla Rose's position. She's the big monster who is hard. She's the big show. She's the big show of the women's division. Anytime you want to get a babyface over, you put them against the big show. In 2003, 2004, they beat the big show, and suddenly they're heavyweight champion.
Listen, if they're listening to the audience, they won't. Because honestly, Ruby Soho is only a song right now. She is not met. She has not met the honestly, her matches have been rough. Her performance is not too great. She's not really sticking out of the crowd. Sheeta literally made herself a star tonight, more than she ever has. More than she ever has. If they know what they're doing, she's gonna go into this Nyla Rose match, Roy. She's gonna go into this Nyla Rose match with this tweaked knee, and she's gonna fight from the bottom up. She's gonna climb that mountaintop and get the win. But worse for wear, even worse than she was before. And she's gonna face Ruby Soho, and everyone's gonna be like, "This is Ruby Soho's night. Bye, bye, Sheeta." Until she wins, she's gonna pull out the sneaky victory, move on,
and then she goes to the finals.
Thunder Rosa, Sheeta versus Thunder Rosa. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Book it, Roy. You right, my man. Get out of here. Don't say that, Tony. We don't want to encourage that. Don't encourage it.
Let's remember this, and we'll see where the tournament goes. I hope you're right at the end of the day.
I'm saying Sheeta's winning.
I would love to see Sheeta versus Ruby Soho. You kidding? And also, I think you're wrong about Ruby Soho. But let's see how you feel at the end of the tournament. That's all I'm saying. Let's see how you feel.
I'll see, because what was her opening match with? Who was it with? Penelope Ford.
Jamie Hayter, Penelope Ford.
I forget.
She definitely fought Jamie Hayter.
Already?
Ruby Soho, yeah.
Did I miss that?
Yeah. She got her bell rung a little bit.
Oh, interesting. It's Soho versus Cargill. Yeah,
he's not wrong about that. That's an interesting take. I think there's a long shot, but I do think Cargill could beat Thunder Rosa. It could happen.
Why aren't they listening to their fans? They're upset that you're not making more stars. You have a ready-made star, Thunder Rosa, and you have and I get it. Jade is on her way. You should but Thunder Rosa's there. Kurashita just lit a fire tonight, and I would like to see it keep going. Don't make it so.
You also made a star in the last 2 weeks in
Deeb.
Serena Deeb.
Deeb should have gone on to the end and should have faced Thunder Rosa.
She's going to be the first challenger. She's going to be the first challenger for that title. Also, 2 quick things that I wanted to mention that I noticed. One, AEW is doing shirts for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And none of the money is going to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Love to see it. Because that place is a scam.
A fraud.
All of the money is going to a nonprofit based out of Jacksonville. So that's great to see. Good for them. And also, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this in recent weeks, but the women's matches are no longer the second to last segment on the show. They're now smack dab in a very good slot on these shows. Which is a nice improvement to see.
Well, because the thing is, it's hard. You have Serena Deeb. You know Serena Deeb is going to be a show stealer. You can't put her right before the main event because you kill the main event. If you put Serena Deeb on before they're not just doing it for the women. They're doing it to save their asses because they don't want to follow that.
That's a good point too. Absolutely, yeah. Best match on the show for sure.
Moving on, we got Tony Schiavone with Leo and Dante in the back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just a little thing here. Apparently, Mike Seidel is no longer in that tag match, so it's going to be the Seidels versus Leo Rush and Dante, and then all of a sudden. Is Mike okay?
I think Leo's hurt. In my head, that's what I think is really happening, is that Leo isn't ready to... Well, I guess he wrestled in GCW, so I don't know. It's going to be a singles match. I think Dante's going to win this time, maybe by cheating, but we'll see.
Tony writes, Thunder Rosa does not need the belt. She will take Britt's belt.
I think that's true.
That's not bad. They're trying to... You're saying doesn't need the belt. They're trying to make this as equal. They keep saying it's going to be not a secondary title. They were trying to say that's what they said, right?
Well, it's like the TNT title. Yeah. It's on the same level as the TNT title, which is a big title.
I don't know what I want. Moving on. We got to get 10 versus Moxley. Surprising matchup. Because honestly, 10, we both said when 10 was in this, was John Silver not available?
Yeah, right.
Was he booked for something? But it's because they wanted this. Mox is mad dad.
Yeah.
He's mad dad right now. He's angry. He wants to provide for his kids, and he wants to win now. He wants to win yesterday. So he goes into each match like a ball of fire, attacking as soon as he can. I love it.
Me too.
Right?
Absolutely. To beating like a professional, he bladed, which I don't know if that was necessary, but he got himself a little juice, as they say.
Open. You got to bleed if your mask.
Thank God. Let's get that mask out of here. I'm tired of this. That Joker mask, I'm over it. Get it out. I like his other mask, like the split, the white and purple mask.
Joker
That's
mask.
a good one.
Joker
Gone.
Mask. Yeah,
Done. Good. It's destroyed.
Sure. Because it's similar to -1s. -1s is a Joker mask.
Yeah, and that's sweet. I like that.
That's why.
Yeah. Is it? Oh, I see. Okay, I feel
so.
bad for saying that now, but now it's dead anyway.
Really, you're going into bad JBL right now.
It just, you put the suit and the hat on and it just takes over you.
You're bullying -1.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Christ. I said I don't like 10.
Y'all heard it.
I love -1.
Tony says, I think 10 bladed himself wrong. He was gushing.
Yeah,
it may have been, honestly, it may have been his first time blading. He's young. Blading isn't a regular thing as it used to be. Next up, we get a very controversial segment. We got
the FTR segment.
Cody. Whoa! Oh, did I miss FTR?
Well, FTR and Tully talked briefly. They just said we accept the challenge, and they've got great T-shirts now.
I literally farted and I forgot the match.
What match? It was a segment.
Cody comes out.
JBL.
Cody comes out and he wants everyone to know he could have used the pedigree, but he didn't.
Is that what he meant by that move? Is that it? Oh, okay.
He went for the Tiger Driver.
That connection at the time.
And I remember when he was in the match. So this is referring to Cody versus Malachi Black. At the end of the match, he hooks the arms, looks at the crowd, and I'm just like, and I was into it. I was just like, are you going for the fucking pedigree? Are you fucking going for the? He gets for a Tiger Driver 98. Cool move, but was disappointing from what I was hoping. And he's sad that. He's basically sad that people don't cheer him. He's very sad, and he says, I will not turn. I don't like this bullshit at all. We're going to get to that in a second, Roy. Well, I don't like this bullshit of him saying turn. I do not like him talking like that.
You don't like that, okay.
I don't like that language.
I want you to get it all out.
Language.
Yeah.
This is not language you use to the people. That's like a magician should never say the word illusion. It's magic. It's fucking magic until you're off stage and you're talking backstage and you're like, yeah, this is an illusion I do. Then you could talk about it, but don't use the terms out there. It's really insulting. And he was, and he's just saying like, I don't want to pander, but I freaking love you guys. It's just so bad. What are your thoughts on that before things went crazy?
Well, I want you to make sure you get it all out here because I'm still processing this. I've got some thoughts, but go. No, go.
I think Cody is planning the biggest heel turn ever. He is going to be the monster heel that we've always wanted. He's a heel that desperately wants us to love him. And that is the heel that everyone's hated the most. Early Rocky, Roman Reigns, John Cena, the ones that really want you to love them. We hate them more than anything. And that's the thing that's going to make him the biggest heel in the company.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Go. And then we'll talk about it.
No, I just saw this guy's thing.
Yeah, read it.
We got the Big FP. The Big
Hell
FP.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question. Do you guys see the Bray Wyatt tweet he put out not so long ago today? It could mean anything, but it's funny. He just tweeted out saying 2 more days.
I believe it's 2 more days until his non-compete is up, and then he can go wherever he wants. That's what I believe it is.
That's probably it. What is that?
Good call, the Big FP. We appreciate you.
Rampage isn't live, right?
Rampage is not live. No.
It's being filmed right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, Chica Marks, I understand. You saying I hope he becomes a heel because I'm so bored. I kind of loved this segment. I kind of loved it. I kind of loved the fact that he was like, you're right. I'm pretty mediocre. But you got to understand that I'm giving you literally every ounce of everything that I have. And I know what you're saying. John Cena spent 10 years not acknowledging the fact that he was never going to turn. He never said it, and he just continued doing what he was doing. Kids loved him, blah, 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 whatever. I just loved that he was like, Dustin Rhodes, better than me. My dad, obviously better than me. I got no shot there. I was distracted. I was doing TV shit. I sucked. Well, I'm sorry about it. I liked everything. I loved the I'm not going to turn thing. I kind of loved that because maybe he will. And if he does, oh, what did I say earlier about wrestling fans being dumb? Here we go. Like he's just going to take these boos in stride and he's going to do everything he possibly can to continue being who he is. And we'll just see where it goes. He kind of got me. I'm kind of in. I completely understand if someone's bored by this. I completely get that. But he kind of got me a little bit.
I don't mind what this is, but I expect the fans to continue treating him in the way we expect. I want them to boo him. I want him to come out and be like, I'm trying my best, and then booing him into tears. That's what I'm looking for. But then Andrade comes out. Cuts a great promo.
Great promo. Yes, absolutely great promo. Let the man talk for himself. He does not need Chavo. He does not need anyone else. Let him talk for himself. He's great.
Great promo over, and he called it a stupid tattoo.
Oh, really good. And Cody laughed at that too, which I loved. He's like, okay, all right.
But then out comes the lights turn out, and then comes Malachi Black, who does the mist again, the black mist, which I think is being overdone now. It's officially being over.
That's his thing.
Let it be a thing for special occasions. Let it be a thing that you don't do every time. Because it's no longer a thing if it's done every single time and it's boring. That's how things get boring.
Sure. Okay.
And then out comes Pac to save the day because he's whatever. I felt like the inclusion of Malachi Black and Pac definitely hurt this.
Okay. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I don't think it did it any favors. I think anything they can do to get Cody away from Malachi Black is the right call. Because it's really Malachi Black that caused the audience to boo Cody. Because Malachi Black is just so much more interesting and just
Andrade's
so much
going to get them to boo him too.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Because Andrade's also really Andrade is a great character. He's got a great look. He draws you in, and his matches with Pac have now put him on a pedestal with the audience as well, where they're expecting him to be brilliant every time. I think I'm very excited for Pac versus Malachi Black. I think that's going to be amazing. And I will say, I know that we had talked about with Uncle Moet that I think it was Uncle Moet who said that none of this makes any sense, the four of them. But I think somewhere deep down inside, Cody put this whole angle together with Tony Khan. But Cody put this whole angle together and said, hey, let me get the four guys who are totally and completely underutilized by the WWE, and let's put them all in a storyline together. And these guys who are vocal about being underutilized, let's get them all together and let's let them all do their thing and fight each other. That's what I think he did there.
I think this is it's going to be a fun match. We're going to have to see how it turns out. We got some comments here. S writes to me, kayfabe died over 30 years ago. Let the wrestlers say turn. Kayfabe's dead. We're no longer walking outside like our characters. When you're in the match, you are your character still. That is what kayfabe is. Kayfabe is outside of the ring. In a movie, they don't say, my name's John McClane, but I'm also Bruce Willis. They don't say that. They don't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
On the show, he'll do the interviews, not as John McClane. He'll do it as Bruce Willis. But you don't. There's certain things. There's certain things that are just better. That's just more fun. We're looking for fun here. What?
I need you to do me a favor. Also, I'm going to pose this question to everybody in the chat as well, but you have my Sling TV account. Oh, yeah. You need to watch the last episode, the season finale of Roads to the Top. Because, and if anybody else has watched it, let me know, because half of it is about this exact thing, about the crowd booing him. They go up to the New York show where he gets booed out of the building, and he's talking about it in it. It's really interesting, and it ties into this promo tonight. It does.
I'll check it out.
And it also shows how dumb he is.
Yeah, he's just dumb. He's so dumb.
Because Brandy, whatever, it's a whole thing. Go.
What about Brandy? We got to get in our Road to the Top segment.
Well, so Brandy's getting ready to train, get back to it. She's had the baby. And Cody's like, what are you thinking? If you come back. And she's like, well, I'm just going to be a heel. She says, the audience thinks of me as evil, so I'm going to be a bad guy. Like, I want to be a heel because that's what the audience wants. I'm going to give the audience what they want. And he's like, nah, you should be a babyface. You should work your way up from the bottom and go to the top. They'll love you. They'll learn to love you. And she's like, no, the audience hates me.
Yeah. She knows. She gets it.
She knows. He's the tone deaf one.
Tony writes, the wild card is Pac. He's clearly a heel, but we cheer him. And that's always been the case for Pac, except when I did not like come to think of it, I did not like the Death Triangle.
What?
I just want Pac to be a loner. Pac is better as a loner. He's cooler as a loner.
Tonight.
Yeah, Pac was
loved
great.
The middle fingers. Loved him sitting in the
he looks like a little demon.
That's why they love him. Yeah, because he's intense and he doesn't take shit, and that's why people love him.
The S writes, breaking the fourth wall, baby. Like Deadpool or Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay, Deadpool or Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Imagine if everyone on the show, imagine Deadpool the movie and everyone's Deadpool. If everyone's doing the same dumb shit, it's no longer cool. One person can be this. In any given universe. But like all the time, am I hearing people use the words like, I've heard people say bumps. I've heard people say, I've got a turn, or like booking, or stuff like that. Like terms that are insider terms that are taking away from it. If everyone's doing it, it's not Deadpool. You're just bad writers.
I do have some comments relating to that in regards to the main event, which we'll get into. Which is going to be controversial coming from me because I love everything the Elite does. But there's a couple of things that I didn't like tonight. We'll talk about.
Well, we'll talk about the Elite. I'll do whatever homework LLW gives me, but it'll be difficult. We're all gonna suffer through Roads to the Top because of Roy Hammer's suggestion.
I have one other suggestion that I'm going to give at the end of the show. I have one other suggestion of homework to potentially do that I'm going to give at the end of the show that isn't wrestling, but it's related to wrestling.
Look what you did, Chica Marks. You mentioned homework, and now he's out giving lessons.
You guys are going to love it. You guys are going to love it.
Now we're at our main event. Red is too soft and old school. I am not S-A-W-F-T. I'm not that way. I'm not that way. But I have been watching a lot of Enzo Amore recently. Which is fun, Tony, that you mentioned it. I am old school, though. I'm old school for life. Old school or dead school is what I say. Dark Order versus the Elite. If Chica Marks watches Rhodes, then I will too. Damn right, Tony, we're looking at you.
We're all on it.
The big FP. Where you at?
Where you at?
We're at the main event. Dark Order versus the Elite and a haunted Halloween horrors match. I made up that. But they were definitely in their Halloween costumes. We had Dark Order come out as Bambi, Brandon Cutler, Kratos, a cowboy, which I thought was Evil Uno going as Hangman Page. And then we have a horse, like a two-person horse, Reluctant. The horse seemed a little reluctant there.
It's a little weird.
They didn't want to come out. Like, it was strange. Yeah. But either way, that's nothing. That's not going to serve the story at all. And then out comes the Super Elite as the Ghostbusters. Yeah. And then you got Brandon Cutler in the Stay Puft outfit, and you got Knock in the big.
He's
big
Bay.
He
had a bib that said Bay.
That's really good. And they come out and they have a great, fun house match. House show match, like where they're just having fun. They're doing their pictures thing. Everyone's getting their shit over. We're getting some Ghostbusters weapons. They do the with the ghost packs, and they do the charge and all their backs in the middle. That's from the Ninja Turtles.
Is it really? With the
that's
shells?
That's the Ninja Turtles move when there's someone in the center, and they'd all give the shells in the middle, and then
that's great. I loved. He still had the proton. Kenny had the proton pack on at the beginning of the match. Uno sends him into the corner, and Uno goes for a splash, and Kenny turns around, and Uno hits the pack. Really good.
Good stuff.
I wrote good for Colt. Good for Colt being in the main event here and getting to have a good time. He had some really great moments, some really great sequences. He's a really good professional wrestler.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Often overshadowed.
He's really amazing because no one in the business today wrestles like him. He wrestles absolutely. He wrestles this like English style wrestling, like this catch as catch can, very like but funny and jokey as well. Like it's great. It's really great.
He ties people up into knots and stuff. It's really great to watch. Yeah.
And then the Super Elite get the advantage. They're all gloating in the ring, and out comes the horse. It's probably number 5. It's almost certainly number 5. What's the name? Something Angels?
Well, yeah. Okay, yeah, keep going.
And he comes out, and he's trying to plead with them, trying to say, stop, stop. The Dark Order saved them. But they don't take too kindly to it. They beat the ever-living shit out of that horse. Give him the super doper kick in the center, and they remove the head to find out it's Brandon Cutler with a piece of tape over his mouth. And he couldn't tell them what was happening because he had tape over his mouth. Sure, his hands were free. Sure, he didn't need to move. He could have moved the hat off and the tape, and that would all have made a lot of sense. But they didn't listen. They didn't listen. And out comes, he takes off the hat, the Stay Puft, and it's Adam Hangman Page. And
Huge
it doesn't
pop.
deflate. It never deflates.
No, it doesn't.
That was a great moment. Beat the shit out of them. They get this big turnaround, and then John Silver gets the win. Great match. Great match. What are your thoughts here?
No matter how many times we see a segment like that in wrestling, the like double reveal, the oopsie, the boopsie, it's always fantastic every single time. It's so fun.
That was a freaking like I did not call that when they came out. I was sure that was Brandon Cutler. I was sure that was Brandon Cutler in that thing. I didn't think twice about it. Did you?
Yeah. No.
Right?
I didn't.
I just assumed.
I'm always suspicious when there's one person who's wearing a mask and no one else is, though. I'm always a little suspicious.
It's a Stay Puft thing.
Right, of course.
Stay Puft. All fit and all made sense, and they just wanted that for the bit. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. A few things about this match. JR hates it. Absolutely hates the entire segment. I cannot wait to listen to Jim Cornette talk about this match. I cannot wait. Oh my God. It's going to be so much fun. And Tony Schiavone freaking loved the Ghostbusters stuff.
He loves the Ghostbusters.
He's just like, which one's Egon? He's saying all the things.
Yeah.
And he's just like, they hit him with the proton packs, and then JR's just like, proton pack, like he's almost shocked.
Yeah, he's like, protein, case of milk. What are we talking about here?
Man, what a hot night. What a hot night. We got some comments here. S writes, Colt's moonsault is freaking legit. You're damn right it was. All of his stuff is really, it hits hard, it looks good, and it's fun. No one's doing it. Tony writes, Cutler is just elite as the Stooge. It's just elite as the Stooge. It's just elite as the Stooge.
He's saying that Cutler is elite, like in general, not as a part of the group. He's an elite Stooge. He's very good at his job. Red disagrees. I can tell you already.
He's a bad stooge. He's a bad stooge because he takes attention away from what's going on. That's supposed to be happening. He is too self-indulgent. He's too self-indulgent. It's a giving job. Being a manager, being a sidekick is a giving job. You've got to give. He is a taker. He is a taker. All he does is take. He tries to chew the scenery. You're not Robin Williams. You're not Robin Williams, Brandon Cutler.
I'm sorry.
Or Brandon Cutlet.
All right.
Swizz is here. Swizz, we've missed you. Didn't even watch the show. Just came to say hi. Really impressed with these outfits.
Thank you, Swizz.
Yes,
I am tweener JBL. Oh, too late.
Guess. Oh man.
Red is
mine, obviously.
70s wrestling heel in the Memphis territory. Davy Crockett, Wario.
Wario Crockett.
Wario Crockett.
Wait, hold on.
It's a me. It's a me. That's it. It's a me, Wario Crockett. I'm a ween. I'm a ween, Alamo. I'm a ween.
Imagine Wario on top of the Alamo during all the fighting. He's like, I'm a ween.
I'm a ween.
That's what I'm going for. Wario at the Alamo. But excellent. Do you have any other thoughts on this Dark Order Elite match?
No. I thought it was a fun match. I thought it was a good time. It was really smart because the Elite has been winning. They have not lost in a long time. I think this is the first time since Adam Cole has come into the company, it's the first time that they've lost a multi-man match. So this win really meant something. And that's very cool.
100%. Very good. I think we had a great show tonight. I think we had a lot of fun. We talked to a lot of people. We really amped up and we got lit, loose. We're flying high. Yep. I really feel that I'm excited for Rampage and more wrestling things to come. There's a lot of wrestling things happening right now, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a ton of wrestling things to come. We're going to discuss a lot of different wrestling things on Saturday.
Saturday morning, 12 PST, 3 p.m. EST, 2 p.m. CST.
Got that right.
Y'all have fun. This is the newsy. Before the news, you can news.
Can I give one more? This doesn't need to be homework. You guys don't need to actually watch this. But I had a moment earlier this week. I was with a friend who's directing a thing that I'm doing, and we were talking about wrestling, and he's like, you know, who's a friend of the show, Lane Ingram. I don't think he's a friend of the show, but he will be soon. He said to me, I think Richard Simmons is one of the best baby faces of all time, and I'll prove it to you. And he played me interviews that Richard Simmons did with David Letterman. And let me tell you something. David Letterman, great heel. Richard Simmons, incredible baby face. He plays to the crowd. He gets the crowd up. The crowd gets behind him. The crowd boos David Letterman. Excellent, excellent babyface work. I recently tweeted on the Loser Leaves Wrestling Twitter a clip of this and said that Richard Simmons is a great babyface. So if you get a second, go follow us and go watch this Richard Simmons on David Letterman clip and watch him be a giant babyface.
We have all this fresh content just waiting for you on Instagram, on Twitter, TikTok, kinda. Chica Marks writes, will Abaddon win over Red? That's a big cliffhanger. Will she win over Red?
We're going to find out. I think she could, pal.
You better check out the News You Can't Lose Saturday. Thank you all so much. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the woo-woo-woos and the whats of AEW Dynamite. Thank you so much. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with Roy Hammer. We're saying goodnight.
Good night. I am a wrestling god.
I love that. I am a wrestling god. I loved it.